gentlemen, welcome back to Hard Way Wrestling and the NXT Shakedown. Oh my gosh, it has been a while since we have been on here. We have had some crazy stuff going on over the last couple weeks. Well, I took a quick trip out of town 2 weeks ago, and then last week I was down sick, just not feeling it all last week. So sadly enough, we have not recorded, and actually we're technically 3 weeks behind because one of the our episodes did not get dropped into the drop. It got dropped into the Dropbox, but the Dropbox didn't pick up the drop. I don't know. It
Yeah, we
was
don't know.
stupid.
But hey, we got some
Anyways,
stuff to catch up on, mainly from last week, obviously, because it played into this week. Obviously, there's some stuff that we need to get ready to transition to for Great American Bash on Sunday.
Saturday?
Is it Saturday? No, I thought it was Sunday.
No, it's the 12th. It's Saturday.
I can't remember these things, man.
Yep, it's the 12th. It is
That's Saturday.
Saturday.
Jesus, I'm super busy this week. Yeah, and then Evolutions this week is Jesus. We've got a lot to cover. All right, so we will get
Yes,
right into. Right, Evolution Sunday. Okay, I got those two flipped. Okay, that's why I got those flipped. Anyway, so obviously we have a lot of stuff to cover because but the first two things that we bring up in this is the Ricky Saints gauntlet match, which was proposed last week because Ethan Page was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Hey, I'm a prick. You can't touch me till you go through my three fuckboys,"
Yeah, exactly.
which is pretty much what they are. Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah,
Um,
no.
so Ricky Saints, that was the opening match of the night. Ricky Saints takes on the three members of the Vanity Project for this gauntlet.
Yes, sir.
In a great way to get started to really kind of also show that Ricky Saints, obviously the stamina is huge but
Yeah.
and it puts the Vanity Project on a bigger scale, and I think they're going to really move them up from evolve soon. Um, I think they'll be a good
Yeah.
faction in NXT,
Yes, I agree. And
especially with Ethan
honestly,
Page,
again, huh?
especially with Ethan Page.
Yeah, most definitely. And I give this match a lot of credit. Like the one thing I will say about NXT recently is that when they open up with either Ethan Page or Ricky Saints, it's like they really it opens up that show strong so many times. Like they are really becoming two of the biggest pillars of the NXT brand that can carry the show and carry the night.
Oh,
So
100%. So the first match with Ricky Saints was versus Brad Baylor. First off, I want to give a shout out to Wrestling Headlines for posting this stuff on the internet. Considering I'm not in my office during the work week anymore, I can't take notes.
Yep.
So thank you again for Wrestling Headlines. Obviously, we're not affiliated, but still want to give you credit where credit's due.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Ethan Page was the commentary team for these three matches with Ricky Saints. Obviously, and I'd rather hear him on the mic than Booker at this point.
Yeah, yeah, I know. At some point, we're going to have a discussion about the commentary team because yeah.
It's lackluster, but that's
Yeah.
later. Um, but anyway, the first match was definitely back and forth. Saints hits the satellite DDT to score the first pinfall of this match. So obviously this puts Ricky Saints up 1-0 against the Vanity Project, making his way to Ethan Page.
Yes, sir.
We may be rushing a little bit because we have to also talk about our picks for the Great American Bash.
Yep.
So we busy.
Yes, we are. We're going to be very busy tonight.
But
Lots
yeah,
to
they
talk
had a
about.
haymaker exchange against Saints and Baylor, tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. I mean, the moves in this was pretty high up.
Yeah. And again, Vanity Project is definitely an interesting team. They definitely are. Like you said, I can see them moving up to the NXT main roster at some point here very soon. They're
Oh,
good. They're a good three.
they're knocking on the door.
Yeah, good
They've
three-man
been
group
on the
right there.
show now for the last couple of weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
More and more presence. Um, So, like I've mentioned before, we have the first pinfall with Ricky Saints taking the win, and then obviously in quick succession, here comes Ricky Smokes. I think Ricky needs to change his name because I can't do this with Ricky Saints versus Ricky Smokes. It just sounds like we're telling Ricky to smoke something, and it just doesn't.
Or that Ricky is smoking something. Who knows? Like
Ricky
that's
smokes
great.
Saints. What is he smoking? Um, Again, this one another flurry of different things. Belly to belly suplex, reverse DDT for a 2 count. Um, Smokes with a knee drop for a 1 count. Then we have this weird chin lock, back and forth Irish reps from Saints, a ton of stuff.
Yep.
Um, Obviously Ricky Saints then stares down Ethan Page at that point. Saints goes for the draping DDT, but Smokes rolls him over for a 2 count. Saints ducks a clothesline from Smokes, and Saints runs around Smokes. Saints with an inverted atomic drop.
Yep.
And Saints hooks both legs to score the next pinfall, putting him up 2-0 against Vanity Project, and one step closer to this title shot.
Yes, sir.
Um, the last person of Vanity Project is Jackson Drake. Um, Another one, back and forth blows. Drake drop kicks the right knee of Saints. Drake with a roundhouse kick. Um, Drake with a double knee gut buster for a 2 count. Saints blocks a super kick. Um, Saints with the sit out face buster for a 2 count.
Yeah.
But again, Vanity Project showing their athleticism.
Yeah, very
Uh,
much so.
I mean, Drake goes for the springboard swanton bomb. Drake with a step up in Zaguri. I'm not mad with this three group.
Yeah.
This
Now,
three-man
again,
group is really, really good.
it honestly reminds me a lot more with better athletic ability of the Mean Street Posse. Like Joey, Rodney, and Pete Gas were something, and we're athletic guys, but these guys are definitely a better 3-man group in my view, and definitely are going to be they're going to be some main players in the NXT world here pretty soon. So
100%.
definitely,
I think after they lose, I think they have the tag team belts of Evolve, or one of them
yes,
has a belt, so obviously they'll have to give them up at some point. But I think that'll happen soon. I think
yeah,
American Bash because I have a feeling about how I know this is going to go. So, and obviously we'll get to that later. Um, but no matter what happens, Ricky Saints takes it all three into the Vanity Project, and
Rochambeau for the win
we love
on
his
the
Rochambeau.
yep.
And after everything else, um, Ethan Page said, "I'm in charge of what I say for tonight's match stipulations." Well, Ricky Saints has the match stipulations for the Great American Bash, which is going to be
Yep.
a Falls Count Anywhere match. And I quote, Ricky Saints tells Page that he's going to dog walk his ass.
Yeah, that is a match I am truly looking forward to. I think again, like as we've said a lot with the NXT shows, Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, gonna be match of the night in my view. I'm calling it right now. So
100%. I mean that obviously the first flurry of matches between Ricky Saints and the Vanity Project. Um, I think a solid B start off for the night.
yes, very much
Um,
so.
and again, each individual that team knows how to work.
Yeah.
Whereas other factions don't have the same aspect. Anyway, the second match of the night. Actually, hold on. Sorry. Let me get some other stuff here. So Sol Ruka and Zarya are fired up about competing in the women's tag team match, fatal four-way match at WWE Evolution, which is happening Sunday.
Yep.
Obviously, we'll get to that. Um, you know, and then Jordan Grace receiving a phone call from Blake Monroe. Uh,
Look, I will say this right now. Again, I Blake Monroe, very interesting new character, the former Mariah May from AEW. Interesting setup the way they're doing this. I'm not necessarily a fan of the vignettes. Like the first couple were good. These last few, and something that I will discuss later with the Culling and the D'Angelo family. The vignettes are starting to get a little bit boring and they just kind of drag a little bit too much. This was the first of several vignettes of the night in different
Mhm.
forms of, and I was like, not sure how, like, I'm not, they were interesting when we first started watching, but they've kind of started to drag. So we will
But
see. Hopefully they'll cut back on some of these vignettes and put either more guys in the ring. I'm not saying necessarily backstage, but a live, even like a live to tape interview is better than just taping some of these vignettes the way they've been doing.
yeah.
So that's just me.
But Blake Monroe and Jordan Grace will be joining forces to do a tag team match at the Great American Bash on Sunday, which we will
Yep.
talk about in a later video, which obviously is going to be after this, but no telling our secrets. Then that moves to the second match of the night, which is Charlie Dempsey with Ren Sinclair versus Tavion Heights. If Tavion Heights wins, he will leave the No Recorder Catch Crew. I'm not happy with how this match finished.
Yes, neither
We
am
both
I.
shared our frustrations with this match, and it's not the performance from both; it's the way the match was finished.
Yes, exactly.
Um,
Yeah, the finish was just like, what the heck? Why'd they do this?
yeah. And for those of you who didn't know, and I didn't know this, but Scott was completely enamored by this. The reason Charlie Dempsey looks like a great heel, his dad is a dipshit.
No,
He is
his
the
dad is
son
one of the
of
great.
William Regal.
Yep, his dad is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time,
Damn
in
it! If
my
he doesn't
view.
come out cross-dressed at some point in his career, I'm gonna be mad.
No, he's gonna come out. This is an old time reference, but he's gonna come out to the "He's a man, a real man."
Oh God, I'd love that. Yeah, this match had a lot of great stuff in it. Leaping clothesline, um, Heights transitions into a ground and pound attack. Um, Dempsey has complete control of the match during the commercial break. Dempsey with the Muay Thai knee strikes. Crossface chicken wing. There was a lot of, again, Dempsey's main point is his submission moves.
Yeah,
He's a
he
very
he's a
good technical wrestler.
yeah, very good technical wrestler, and both guys to that
Yes.
point, like, were pulling off stuff. I was watching this, I was like, wow, this is a good, like I get why the No Quarter Catch Crew was together, because again, they all had differing forms of fighting styles, but they all could work together, in different ways in tag team or in singles. But it definitely it's. I'm glad that they were trying to split the No Quarter Catch Crew apart, because each one needs a good singles run.
Mhm.
But as we come to find out in the finish, this didn't end the way wider I even thought this was going to end.
Yeah, no, it was not. Obviously, the other thing is I haven't seen any news about any possible injury for Tavion Heights because his leg does get stuck between the steel steps. Um,
Yes, yeah, that was
but obviously Dempsey
and
does take advantage of that and starts hitting, a lot of his submissions on that effective leg. Uh,
yeah,
but the way that this ends is Dempsey puts a forearm under Heights' jaw. Sinclair decides to throw in the white towel for Tavion.
yes. Oh, I did
This
not
did
like
not
that.
no. I was happy because we're like, okay, well, let's see. They've already gotten one gone.
Yeah,
Tavion's the next one to go, and I was okay with it. I was like, this will be a good transition for Tavion. And then no.
yeah. Yep. I was like, what in the world are they doing? Like, why did she throw in the towel? And like, this is, I mean, again, maybe they're looking to find more ways to break this thing apart and like put, put her in the middle between Dempsey and Tavion. But no, it
It
was
was
just, that was,
not
that,
good.
yeah, it was just,
Out
that
of
was
the
not a good
matches
way to,
so far, even though it was just the second one,
yeah.
that one kind of sucked.
Yep. The
It was
match
the
itself is
ending
good.
destroyed it.
The finish is what killed that match. Other than
Yeah.
that, the match
I
itself
mean, the
was
match
good.
itself was about a B plus, and then once that ending happened, I dropped it to a D.
Yeah,
I was
exactly. I
so
agree.
mad.
I agree.
Shortly after that match, we have Hank and Tank talking about the culling, about running through them. Javon Evans shows up to talk to Hank and Tank, to get ready to get fired up. And here comes Tank. Jasper Troy.
Yeah.
Still trying to find his footing on all this with an identity crisis. Attacks Javion from behind. Troy with a body avalanche against the wall. Troy nails Javion with a running knee strike, and that's where that dies.
Yep.
Obviously, they're running. It looks like we're gonna have an interesting feud with Javion Evans at some point with Jasper Troy.
Javon Evans.
Sorry, I don't know why it's Javion. Whatever, Javon. Um, but that will be another match at the Great American Bash on
Yeah.
Sunday at 3 o'clock. Um,
I feel bad because Javon Evans is a good kid, but they're and we'll get into our picks in a
we
minute,
all
but
we all know that when a big guy gets introduced to a storyline, it means they're pushing them out.
yeah, exactly. So like
If you are a
you
true honest to God wrestling fan, you realize that the big dude is the enforcer of the company. You screw them over, they're going to screw you over with one last match.
yeah. Yep.
Um, but then the third match of the night is Joe Hendry and Mike Santana, which I do like this tag team duo.
Yes.
Versus the High Rise with Wesley. Now we also agree that High Rise is really good.
They're good. They are definitely they're on the make. They can like give them another maybe year in NXT and then take them right to the main roster and give
Could
them
they
the
be
tag
a
team
new version
titles.
of the Hurt Business?
In a way, yes. I like they're a different style than the Hurt Business, but they've got that like see they're more the they're not the suit wearing Hurt Business. They're just the come out there we're gonna punch you in the face kind of
Oh yeah,
Hurt
no,
Business.
that yeah. I mean, I think we'll have a
Like they're
different face
definitely
for them.
they're not the sophisticated guys. They're definitely more just we want to fight kind of guys. So
100%. And I believe at the announce table was he? No, was he wasn't at the announce table. Never mind. But Joe Henry and Tyreek start off in the match. Um, you know, this was again, Hendry is another guy that loves to do the more technical side of wrestling, which I can't fault him for. That's his great aspect to him, other than getting the crowd,
yeah,
pushed. Um, but DuPont with clubbing shoulder blocks. Igwe tags himself in. Santana kicks Igwe in the face. Um, DuPont drops Henry with a running uppercut for a 2 count. Santana lands a somersault plancha.
yeah, yeah. See,
Santana rolls DuPont back into the ring. Santana hooks the outside leg for a 2 count. And then Hendry tees off on Igwe. Igwe rocks Hendry with a forearm smash. I mean, again, back and forth.
yeah. And I will say this: like I watched Mike Santana because it was Santana Ortiz in AEW. I watched Mike Santana. I didn't see anything in him at that point. Like I was just like, okay, again, he's a smash mouth kind of guy, but I was like, okay, big whoop, who cares? But in TNA, coming from TNA and now being on NXT programming, I'm loving Mike Santana. I love the Smash Mouth. I love the move set. I love his whole persona because again, like you said, Joe Hendry's that technical guy. Mike Santana just
He's
is like
definitely
is
the
the ground
enforcer if
the
they ever do like a
enforcer.
permanent thing.
Yes, ground and pound enforcer, beat him up, which played well with High Rise's fight ability. So again put the technical guy in there as well to give it some balance. But I really am loving what Mike Santana is doing right now in TNA, and I cannot wait. Like I'm going to try to find a way to watch Slammiversary coming up to see the three-way Joe Hendry, Mike Santana, and um,
Trick.
Trick Williams for the TNA title. So, but
Um,
yeah,
but after everything's said and done, Trick and Joe do pick up, I mean, Joe Hendry and Mike Santana pick up the win via pinfall. After the match, Trick drops Santana with the trick. Hendry is throwing haymakers at Williams. Lee super kicks Hendry. High Rise gangs up on Hendry and Santana. Williams played at Hendry with a trick shot. Williams and High Rise stands tall over Hendry and Santana.
yep,
Um, so obviously there are a couple more things in between. A lot of the Japanese-born wrestlers are wishing Yoshiki and Amora luck in his upcoming match with Obafemi at Great American Bash. Being the Great Muta, Kaito, and Io Sky being the couple. Dark State is talking about did their whole thing about invading TNA last week.
Yeah.
James says that they should have a close eye on the NXT Tag Title match. Nobody knows when Dark State is going to strike, but they do. Nobody is safe.
Yep. That's another crew that I'm absolutely high on is Dark State. I will say that I like out of all the vignettes that were presented, Dark State is going to be is still going to be my favorite. But again, the thing that's bothering me is they're all, and again, just very quickly, they're all filmed in the same way. They're all filmed on a black background. Everybody in the foreground. Now,
Yep.
Dark States is nicer because they're like just like it's almost like a black and white. It's a white light on them and with the black background and whatnot. But Culling does the same deal. They're sitting around a table. D'Angelo family sitting around the table. Even the Brooke Monroe and Jordan Grace one. Jordan Grace is on a black background. It's black and white, black and white, black and white. Like, guys, I get that there's the silver NXT logo with the black background. Not everything has to be black and white. Like, you don't have to like that's why I really wish they would do some of this either as a pre-tape in the back, like just with an interviewer standing in
Mm,
between these guys talking, or something where there's a little more color to this. Because again, these interviews are dragging down and bothering the daylights out of me because it's the same look over and over and over and over again. Well,
yeah.
enough ranting,
There's a lot
but
going on there. Obviously there's some more stuff in between Obafemi and Yoshiki and Amara segment. Just
and honestly, I'm not a fan of this. Like, this is the one thing. Like, what was it? What's the? My God, my brain's blank. The deaf kid's name from No Quarter. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, like they kind of built that one up decently, but they haven't
this one
really
seems
been
kind of
doing.
thrown in.
Yeah, like the Yoshiki does. Like it's just because I was expecting Josh Briggs to be the one to take that match,
Yeah,
and
he's just as big as Oba.
yeah, so I was expecting more of that, and I was expecting maybe them to the culling to interfere, and yada yada, and this whole thing with him and Briggs and the culling to keep going, but like they just threw in a more in there. I'm like, and again, going back to what we talked about before, kind of knowing how this is going to go, you know, like we know Obafemi is going to retain that title. It's not going on anymore. There's just no way.
Yeah, there's no way that's
So,
not going to happen.
but yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of the way they built this up. That's the only downside. They've been doing good stuff in other areas, and I get that they've been trying to build the Women's Evolution pay per view, but Great American Bash is a good pay per view as well. Like they really needed to do more to build a good feud going into that
Especially
for
with their main
Oba.
title holder.
Yes, exactly. So
Um, so yeah, and then the fourth match was Kalani Jordan versus Laney Reed. This was not that big of a deal.
yeah, I mean, I watched a good match, but again, it's
I mean, Kalani Jordan wins via pinfall. Um, I'm still not a fan of Kalani yet.
yeah. Again, there there's some things there, but it's just not like they don't know how to show that yet, and I don't know what they need to do with her to get her where they like. I'd rather have Jada Parker in there or some of the other NXT
Yeah.
women, but
Um, and then later on, Jasper attacks Javon Adams in the training room. Um, so and then we had Tony D'Angelo sit with Stax and Luca Crucifino um, about all this stuff. Apparently,
yeah.
all the good times at the restaurant. Cool. Um, but the last match of the night is Hank and Tank versus the Culling with Izzy Dame and Tatum Paxley
Yep.
for the WWE NXT Tag Team Championship. Again, Hank and Tank are an unbelievable tag team, and
Yeah.
I feel like if they take it off of them now, it's just going to ruin. Uh,
Yes.
because and we talked about this the other night. NXT Tag Teams division is so much better than Raw and SmackDown and AEW combined.
But yeah. Yeah.
As we all saw, Raw, New Day no longer have their titles. Don't know why.
I mean,
They
honestly,
they
I
could have
am.
they think they could have built that heat up for them,
Yeah.
especially
No,
after a big heel turn like this.
yeah, I do agree, but at the same time, I'm not necessarily mad that Finn and JD got them. But I do agree with you; they could have built that a lot better and taken done the switch. Now, again, unless one of them's injured, but who the heck knows?
But yeah, I mean, Spears with the neck breaker, Spears with the leg drop for 1 count, Ledger's throwing haymakers at Spears. This is just a match about beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah,
There's no
oh yeah,
technicality in this match whatsoever. It is we are throwing our fists at you, and this is what you get.
yep.
Um,
And again, I love that. I like that's why I like Hank and Tank. And honestly, like I'm really getting behind the calling. I really feel like they are like those two. Spears. What's the other dude's name? Spears and
I forget the other guy's name,
yeah, the two of
but
them
Stan is doing a
together.
really good job with this team.
Stan. Yep, Stan is.
You know, he went from taking a super kick from, you
Shawn
know,
Michaels.
Shawn Michaels to running the culling in WWE. Uh, but Hank and Tank connects with their running power slam headbutt combination to pick up the victory and still retain the NXT titles.
Yep.
Um, and that pretty much does it. I mean, obviously, this all sets up
Well,
for. Hold on, I'm not done yet. All sets up for Great American Bash, which, as of
yep.
right now, the card is set. We have Ethan Page and Ricky Saints in a Falls Count Anywhere match for
Yep.
the North American Championship. Jasper Troy versus Javon Evans. Trick Williams, Joe Hendry, Mike Santana, TNA Slammiversary contract signing
Yep.
happens on Sunday. Sol Ruca was Zariah versus Izzy Dame in the culling for the WWE NXT Women's North American Championship. Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe versus Fatal Influence.
Yep.
And then Obafemi and Yoshika Inamura with Josh Briggs for the WWE NXT Championship. This should be interesting.
Yeah.
I think out of everything going on with this card, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's only like 2 matches I really give a shit about.
Yeah. Same.
And
Same.
that's Ethan Page and Ricky Saints for one.
Yeah.
The rest of this card, no offense, is mid tier.
Yeah. Sadly enough, and again, like it was funny because and I get right after WrestleMania, they start to re-rack the system and try to get things going again to build to the next, what's going to go on for the because again, with every year starts with the WrestleMania, so it ends with WrestleMania and starts with WrestleMania. So whatever happens, the WrestleMania weekend starts the next year going forward. So for them, it's what is it? Stand and Deliver
Mm-hmm.
for NXT. So NXT Stand and Deliver, which was a phenomenal pay per view in my view. They had a great chance. They built a lot of things. There were some great matches on there, some great builds. But the build going forward since WrestleMania weekend has been lackluster. NXT has been good. It's been solid. It's stayed at about a
And they've
C.
done really good with their rivalry promos. I mean,
Yeah,
you could feel that Trick Williams is hated by TNA. Like you
yeah,
can get that vibe, especially with Mike Santana and Joe. You get that hatred with Ethan Page and Ricky Saints.
yeah,
And the others just don't feel like they have that push. Like the this rivalry between Jasper Troy and Javon Evans. Whoop-de shit.
yeah.
And I think what the
And
problem is they're running into, they're trying to figure out what to do with Jasper.
yeah, no, I mean Jasper still they're trying to push him, so they're gonna give him wins over other guys. But in my view, like that match is an NXT match. It's not a Great American Bash
I agree.
match. Um, and here's the thing that also I think gets me is that ever since the TNA NXT deal, they've not that this is necessarily a bad thing, but they've been focused more on the TNA title.
Hmm.
Now that Trick Williams has got it, they've been more focused on that than they have Obafemi. And I don't know why, because I think they can do this with equal time for both champions and get both guys over and elevate both companies in a way that will keep the heat on Trick,
Yeah,
but keep Obafemi rising and being the star that he is.
yeah,
So, but to me, like the last few, especially the last few weeks, have been TNA, 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 and that's why like this whole
yeah. It's just been
Obafemi
TNA,
and
TNA, TNA. Ricky Saints.
yeah, exactly. And it's like again, it's good, but it's not getting all of your stars over. It's
Yeah,
not getting your main champion over, and your main champion like let's God forbid we lose the TNA deal at some point. Your NXT champion is the main one you need to be pushing. So I don't know.
yeah. There's a
There's
lot of
something going.
inconsistency here.
Yeah.
And I mean,
So
the show overall was about on a C minus D.
yeah.
I mean,
Again,
the only thing that was really good, and after Ricky Saints and the Gauntlet match, it just
yeah. It really
I
didn't.
lost
It
interest
didn't.
pretty quick.
Yeah, I agree.
And
It
I
didn't
mean, we
hold.
only have one match for Evolution that we kind of want to talk about, but obviously we'll do that in the next video, which is JC Jane versus Jordan Grace.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's it. I mean, and the thing is, I feel like they should have had more conflict between JC Jane this week and Jordan Grace instead of doing the vignettes. They really should have been in the ring just slamming each other verbally.
Yeah. Exactly. And again, I get that's another thing is like I get the vignettes for I keep wanting to call her Mariah May. Um, what's her name? Bro, not Brooke. Frig, what's her name?
You mean Monroe?
Yeah, Blake. That's what I keep wanting to call her. Brooke Monroe. Blake Monroe and Jordan Grace. Why are they focusing on that when your next big thing is going to be Jordan Grace, JC Jane at Evolution? You
Yeah.
need to be focused more on that deal. Yes, the tag match is fine, but like there needs to be more vignettes on JC Jane, Jordan Grace going into Evolution because again, this is a big deal for the women.
Yep.
This is a lot of and we'll talk about it in the next video, but the brawl out at the end
The sad thing
with
is,
the
the only women from NXT that are being represented in this evolution, depending on the battle royale, of course,
yeah,
is just JC Jane and Jordan Grace.
yeah. Well, isn't the aren't a couple of the teams involved in a four-way for a tag team match or tag team titles? What's the
Probably, but it's not listed. But yeah, but that's about it, though. It's not like there's a lot of other women from NXT being represented, which kind of sucks.
yeah. And honestly, and again, like with the exception of like the main roster superstars that we know, the Rhea Ripley's, the Baileys, the Becky Lynch's, the Charlottes, the Oscars, in my view, like the NXT women are out of the rest of the women's roster, the NXT women are the breakout stars right now.
Mm,
They're the ones that are going to
100%.
be
I
the
would much
next
rather
big thing.
watch the NXT female roster than the Intercontinental Championship match between Becky Lynch, Bayley, and Lyra Valkyrie.
Yeah, exactly. Same.
Don't give a shit. Anyway, um, that's it for obviously the review from Tuesday night's show on July 8th.
Yep.
Um, obviously, check us out tomorrow. I won't be there, but Scott will be there talking about four major cards coming up this week.
Four cards for Hardway tomorrow. It's going to
Um,
be uh,
NXT, Great American Bash. You have Saturday Night Main Event. You have Evolution and AEW's whatever the fuck they're doing these days. We'll call
all
it
out or all
Healthy
in.
Addiction. Oh no! Oh, they're all in Tony Khan's nose. But anyway, um, anyway, obviously there's been some decent stuff coming out of that. Obviously, the only good thing is MJF's promos cutting, but that's about it. Anyway, but obviously there's a lot of things you guys can do to help us. Like, subscribe, follow us anywhere you guys can get us. We're on every podcast streaming service from Apple to Spotify. Um, also we have a Patreon. $5,
Yes. Yeah, $5, and you get to join the prediction
which
challenge.
Scott
Which
may or may not fib on the points.
yeah, that's a load of crap. I didn't fib.
It's
No,
not even-
$5 a month gets you in the door. You can join the prediction challenge, which starts up again on Saturday. We basically there's 5 this month and 4 of them are this weekend. So yeah, it's going to be a packed weekend. It's going to be a lot of stuff going on. So
And
get in
obviously
on
next week
this.
we'll have all the reviews for you.
Yes, all the reviews, all the results, and all the whatever craziness went on. So,
But that'll do it here from Hardway Wrestling. Obviously, we'll have another episode coming out tomorrow, maybe Saturday, about our picks for Evolution. Well, at least the one Evolution match, and then the Great American Bash on Saturday.
yep,
Thank
that's
you
for
all for
sure.
watching. Check us out tomorrow.
Thank y'all. See ya.